Hey, this is Janet Morana. Obviously, out of surgery, but I have a lot to talk about what's going on, so stick with me. Hi, Janet Morana, Executive Director, Priest for Life. And if you've been following my whole tale here on Wednesday, June 11th, I had total left knee replacement surgery. I apologize. That's one of my little Shih Tzu dogs barking, but please excuse. I'm sitting here in a chair and recuperating. But before I talk about what happened with the surgery and how I'm doing, of course I'm in pain. But I had the surgery Wednesday. I didn't come home till Saturday, but I got home in time to get settled and put on the parade, the 250th anniversary of the Army parade. And of course, everybody on the other side of the aisle was calling it Trump's birthday parade and no king riots and all this nonsense. Well, guess what? Here's fact check. The Army applied for the permit for that parade last June when President Biden was in office. Okay? So there was an intention to celebrate the 250th anniversary of establishing the Army since last year. It just so happened, and President Trump can't help this, he was born on Flag Day and the very day that the Army was established, June 14th. Sorry. It was not his birthday parade, guys. So, stop it already. In fact, if you Google and look up, it's October and November. I forget which one is which. It's the 250th anniversary. One of them is the Navy and one's the Marines. So this 250 years ago, we established first the Army, then the Navy, then the Marines. Okay? So it has nothing to do with Trump, trying to celebrate his birthday. And then I heard some people comparing the parade to marching like Hitler, the Gulag, and all this nonsense. If you actually tune into the parade, it was a history lesson. They went all the way back to when the American Revolution, and you really learned a lot. And look at all the sacrifices of the people who got killed over the history of those centuries. Not centuries, the decades. So I just had to say something about that. Fake news as usual, but please, if you're on social media, correct the foolish, enlighten them with a little history lesson, okay? All right. So here's the story with knee surgery. Is it painful? Of course it is. Do they give you stuff for pain? Yes, they do. It takes the edge off, but it doesn't make you pain free. You got to kind of have to push through it and do the exercises. Right now, I'm on limited exercises at home, kind of stuff I could do in this chair. I am walking with my walker. In fact, I get up all by myself. I use the restroom. I get washed up. I even washed my own hair today. Look, I hope that it's not too stylish, but I blew it dry. So I'm really trying. I'm eating healthy, but it is, like they're saying, 6 to 8 weeks of recovery. It's no joke, and it takes time. I'll let you know down the road, how it goes each week. In fact, I'll tune in. I'm going to do this every Tuesday. I'll give you surgery update, recoup, because it might help some of you who might have a loved one or yourselves who are going to have to schedule knee surgery soon. So I'll give you the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. That's Janet. Uh-oh. I can't take this close. I'm sorry. I have to see if a doctor's calling me or something else. Anyhow, other things that are going on in the world. Oh my goodness. I mean, Israel and Iran. I'm just praying. And I'm sorry, but I do support Israel. We can't, Iran is the one who funded Hamas and Hezbollah, who did the attack. Did we all forget October 6th and all those people in Israel that were massacred? And the fact that they're still in Gaza holding hostages? Well, guess who funded those terrorist groups? Iran. And they want to have a nuclear weapon? They hate us. They hate a lot of the different countries. And, God bless Israel, though, because they're being very pointed. They're not hitting civilian targets. They're basically trying to get the nuclear targets and the targets of the brain trust, the nuclear scientists and their head army people. In fact, I saw in the news this morning, you got to tune in every so often to Fox because the only place I get the truth, is that they actually, when they took out these 3 heads of their army brain trust, they didn't take down the whole building, they said. They got the one spot where they were basically, unfortunately, sleeping in their beds and killed just those 3 guys. Boom. I'm sorry that anyone has to get killed. But those 3 people were evil. They wanted to do more evil against Israel and eventually us. Did everyone forget September 11th? I'm a New Yorker, if you can't tell by my accent. I will never forget September 11th. I lived through it. I had friends who were in that tower and made it out, and I know people who didn't make it out. So I will never forget. And it's the same radical extremist people that are funded by people like Iran and others, okay, that want to kill Americans. They want to get us. So, and of course, they want to wipe out Israel too. I'm just praying for Israel, and I'm praying for that we can get to a peaceful solution eventually. And I have to applaud President Trump. He did cut short that meeting in Canada, come back here, because I think, this problem in the Middle East kind of trumps a summit on economics and trade, right? So I hope I helped you guys learn a little bit more today. Anyone have any questions? I'll take questions if anyone has anything. Otherwise, thank you for the prayers. Please keep the prayers up that I can keep bending my knee. Okay, I have to keep trying to bend these exercises and they hurt. Bend. You have this. It's like, let me show you this thing. See this little contraption? Okay, I have to put my foot through that, and I pull up my leg and I bend it as far as I can as an exercise. Up and down. And when you do it, it hurts. But you know what I do? I have a crucifix in my room. I look at Jesus and I go, okay, Jesus, you got this, right? And you know what's really helped me through all this? The app Hallow. Oh my goodness. If you don't have that app, you got to download it. It's been such a comfort. I listen, because right now it's hard for me to just sit and read the Magnificat, all the words, but I can listen to the gospel. I can listen to the reflections. I can do the rosary. And it's great because the guy, I forget his name right now, the same one who played Jesus in The Chosen, he does the rosary every day, but in between each decade, he does a reflection, and it's beautiful. He really points you and gets you going. And at nighttime, I do the Hallow Night prayer. It's what, and then they have this meditation I do at night to kind of get me to settle down and try to go off to sleep. And last night I was having trouble to fall asleep after I did the meditation. They have another thing where it just plays not the words to the religious music, but just the tunes very softly. And I played that. And I said, oh, play all. Well, I fell asleep. And when I woke up at around 4:30 a.m. to, use the facilities, it was still playing. But it just must provide such a comforting, quiet, peaceful background. So if you don't have the Hallow app, I highly recommend it, because you can pick and choose what you want to listen to, what you need to. And some of it is just reflections and scripture. And it's really been a lifesaver for me. And the other thing is, I'm very fortunate. My Parish Divine Mercy here in Merritt Island, where I live, our new Filipino priest, Father Jojo, he's coming at 1:30 today to bring me communion. So I'm very happy about that. Okay. So thanks for tuning in. I didn't see any more questions or any comments. So please keep me in your prayers, but keep our country in your prayers. Keep Israel in your prayers. And all the civilians that are caught in this, and even some of the Iranian people, so many of them are just innocent. This is a dictator regime that has them in their grips. It kind of reminds me of Cuba, Cuba, horrible dictatorship, but such good Cuban people. And some of these Iranian people are like that. So let's keep them all in their prayers. Let's have the least amount of lives lost. And let's stop these extremisms. Let's get the ability to have them have a nuclear weapon taken away from them. And let's hope President Trump and the other world leaders, we can get peace in the world once again. Okay. Well, this is Janet Morana, Executive Director of Priest for Life. I'll see you next Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. Be there. See you. God bless.